Back to a full body session after a couple of days where more athletic endeavors actually took precedence over my usual workout routine. It only makes sense in my head that if I'm actually playing some sports, what I usually do with my full body training should maybe take a step back so that I can put an actually good effort at the sport that I'm playing in that instance. And speaking of the scarcity of instances where I'm actually playing sports, my legs were kind of tired. Maybe it's a bit of an understatement. My hip flexors felt really fatigued. My hips were stiff, especially the left one, and it's a good thing that I put in some leg raises here, getting some blood flowing into those hip flexors. Hopefully, that should aid recovery. And I was going for as high repetitions as I could do. And the only thing that I could do in terms of leg work were just body weight squats. I'm thinking that the day when I was snowboarding, that counted as a pretty tough leg endurance day. And the previous night when I was playing football, that counted as a more explosive work. So I was left off with the only thing that I could actually do. I couldn't do any walking lunges, and so I went for the easiest possible thing. And I was actually able to find a little spot where I could put my feet under and wrap out a few Nordic curls. Now, this position wasn't exactly comfortable. I felt a lot of pressure on my knees and a bit of pressure on my heels as well. So I wasn't really able to do the full uh, curl without any assistance. But still, I went for higher repetitions and that felt all right. Now, as I'm already in my second set here, my idea for the session was to get some strength upper body movement and some volume upper body movement, and in this instance it was pike push-ups. Now I'm not doing them on the floor, and there is a reason for that. I was feeling a bit of an annoyance in my right wrist a few days back, and after the snowboarding a couple of days ago, where I was on the floor a lot, and that wrist kind of started giving me some pain, and I did not really want to make it any worse, and definitely handstands were not going to be good with that at all. So I thought that I could still do something for my shoulders while using the rings, and this is how I came up with pike push-ups on rings. They're not as comfortable as on the floor. Not that they're comfortable anyways, they're really tough for me, but doing them on the rings actually puts a lot less pressure on my wrist. They do not extend as much, and I can actually wrap them out with no pain whatsoever. And it's just about a matter of positioning my body in a way that actually targets the right muscles. So with with that in mind, I was doing those as the strength movement for the upper body on the day, and I was also supersetting that with some volume work for the pulley movement, which was a horizontal pull just from the floor, these inverted rows on a higher rep range. So I was doing 10 to 12 repetitions on that, and I was focusing on pulling my body all the way up until where I had no room to move any longer, and do as many reps as I could with good form. And I was actually putting in some reverse flies here. Now I had to put the speed up to times 4 because these were extremely hard. I did 10 reps, And maybe I was at an angle that was still too challenging because as this is kind of an isolation exercise, I should really be doing more repetitions, at least in my head. But then again, it was the first time that I did that. It was some extra volume for my back. And these bodyweight squats actually proved to be extremely tough for me after these 2 days where I really demanded a lot from my lower body. This was the third set and the last one, and after the 20th repetition, I was really grinding it out. I had to take longer and longer rest times, and hopefully I did some good work in there, and I'm gonna feel a bit better the next day. Hopefully that's gonna help me recover. The last stuff was again the same as the previous two sets, getting 10 repetitions with the inverted rows and getting another few, I believe it was 8 pike push-ups. And in terms of Nordic curls, I did 6 to 8 repetitions. This was the third set and I was going for 6. Again, trying to get a bit of an eccentric going on and a little assistance going up. Let's see how I'm going to feel tomorrow. Ciao.